We are live. How are you doing? Hey, how you doing? This is Emmanuel Kitengela. Ngani. There's an apostrophe on the NG. Kitengela. Actually, that's how you pronounce my name. All right, Emmanuel Kitengela. All right. I was asking the meaning of my name. I heard that it's something to do with someone who digs graves or something, some scary stuff. You see, even there I've changed my tone when I was talking about what my name means. Kitengela, but I've not yet confirmed. But what kind of name is that? Kitengela, someone who digs graves. Like, what the heck is that, man? Why didn't they give me a different name? But that is it. Emmanuel Kitengela, welcome to this live stream. An update from Kitengela. I'm here in my very new home studio. Why? I just had to come on live and brag. I'm here. Microphone is here. The light is here. The music is here. I'm listening to some Mobutu Sese Seko. Have you guys ever heard this song, man? If you're a rumba fan, you know this song. Huh? I don't know if you can hear it. Let me just increase the volume a little. Mobutu Bandoki Basilite. Let me just give you a little history. Bandoki, these wizards. So this guy was singing. He was saying, Mobutu, you should know that the wizards are still there. This was a campaign song for Mobutu Sese Seko. If at all you can hear it. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not. So it was a campaign song. It was one of the best campaign songs ever written. You know, this year is a year of elections. So this guy, his name is Franco Luambo Makiadi. So he wrote a song for campaigning for Mobutu, although he was the only candidate. I'm like, what the heck is this? My name is Emmanuel Kitengela. I've decided to do an update on my main channel, which is this one, just to let you to see how you guys are, and also for you to see how I am. This is a barter trade. You see how I am, and then I see how you are. All right? And I think I'll be doing a lot of this now that I have my little studio here. I hope you're well. I hope you can hear me very, very well. If you can, just send me a comment over there. Say I can hear you, because maybe I'm talking to myself. Today is a Wednesday. All right. I haven't had my dinner yet. I wanted to do this live stream is when I jump into my dinner. Today I'm planning to eat some chicken and some ugalai. All right? Ugalai. You know, my mom was a very interesting person. Huh? My mom, is. My mom is still alive. My mom and dad. My dad passed on. That's why I've said was. I think I was thinking about my dad. My mom and dad are very interesting. Them, they say that they cannot eat. They cannot eat rice for dinner. So for dinner they have to eat ugali and something. But rice is not, like, if my mom, you offer her rice for dinner, you really go sana vibaya sana. She'll really think you're really taking her lightly. Even if she has rice at like 4 o'clock in the evening, you know the way you can go for a wedding and then you have rice at the wedding. She has to go home and cook for herself a very hard ugali with the unga. You know the unga from the posho mill. So that's what she needs for her dinner. There's a time one of my brothers, my sister-in-law made for her rice for dinner, and she was quite offended. She was like, "Ini nini umenipikia? No, mimi sikulangi sapa." So I'm trying to get my mom to drop eating big ugalis, but it's a hard job because she's older. You seem well so far. What do you mean? Can you hear properly, Josh? Josh Moore. But then, Josh, it's good you've come through because you're one of these live streaming experts. You seem well so far. Oh yeah, you seem well so far. That's good. That's good. I get it. I'm a bit slow over there, my brother. I'm sorry about that. Thank you, Josh. But if you don't know Josh, Josh is a serious YouTuber. I think he's one of the best editors when it comes to YouTube videos in Kenya. Like, I've never seen a video better than the ones Josh produces, huh? And I'm not saying that to flatter him, even if he wasn't here. I've just seen Josh's comment, and I've remembered he does excellent videography. All right, you should check out his channel on YouTube. Huh? He has a new channel. What's the name of your new channel, Josh? I know your old channel. It's called African Focus. African Focus. So if you need a videographer, just look for Josh. If at all you'll be able to afford him. Eh? His videos are clean. You know, a clean video. It looks like it has been made by those guys on CNN. Very dope stuff by Josh Moore. Check out his channel, African Focus. Now he's doing infrastructure videos. He used to work with African Traveler, and then I think now he's gotten his wings, and now he's already doing his channel. His channel is doing well. It already has 359 subscribers and 21 videos. Eish! Josh, you're doing well, my brother. You're doing well. I just wanted to update you on how I am. I know I've been one of the most inconsistent real estate videographers, or rather YouTubers on earth, I think. In terms of inconsistency, I think I've won the, the title of producing one video a month. I'm laughing at myself, and it's not a laugh of joy, it's a laugh of sadness. All right. The last video I did was some houses in Kitengela. Right, it's actually around where I live. The houses are going for 5.8 million bob. Let me tell you a secret. Now that we are only a few guys watching this live stream, I did quite a number of videos last year in terms of this real estate video thing, and I reached a place where I was like, like I felt like I'm just seeing the same house all over and all over again. You go to a house, you see the same looking tiles, the same looking floors, the same looking kitchens. So I'm like, what is going on in this real estate thing? Like, people don't have creativity and, novelty. Like, where's the novelty? And then you see a very tiny house, and then the price that the person is quoting is sick, eh? So you're like, what? Okay, I know there are some people who can't afford those houses. I'm not saying there are people who there are people who can't afford, and I appreciate that. But like the boredom of sameness. Like, you go, it's as if some of these realtors, and I hope they're not watching today, it's as if some of them go to the same shop in China to buy stuff, and then they come and install it in their houses, and then they charge. So I've been thinking about how to do it differently, man. Like, how to do this real estate thing differently. And one of the first things that I decided to do is, number one, I'm going to look for affordable projects which are practical, at least to me. YouTube is a very personal thing. So it's like, I'm going to look for projects which I think are, like, if you see a project on my channel now, just know I am connecting with it. Not that I don't connect with many of the channels I've done, the houses I've done. But, some of these houses, you go, someone has built a house on a very small compound and filled the whole compound with a house. Like, there's no space even for grass. There's no space for, like, your children, unless they be playing games like Bano. You remember Bano? By the way, I was a serious champ in Bano. There's something called crackings, not no payings. But I'm lying. I never used to be good at Bano. But there were guys who were really, really good. Me, I was one of those guys whose Bano was always being cracked. There's some guys in the comments. Josh is saying, I am blushing. Hey, Josh, you should not blush. You are a dope guy, my brother. You are a dope guy. Mose, Gigi says, my favorite guy here. Nice to see live. Thank you so much, Mose, man. It's just me, you, and Josh, I think. I think the rest of the guys will see the video later. But Josh went him home. That aside, yes, the sound is clean. Awesome stuff. So yes, I'm yearning to see projects that are, more practical, more unique. Not just a house which looks like this other house, which looks like this other house. I'm like, where are the unique projects? And that's what I'm looking for right now. I'm not looking for mass-produced projects. If I get phone calls that he come and see, I might go and see, but I'm looking for very unique, specific projects. I tell you what I love nowadays on YouTube in terms of real estate. I love Fine Urban Interiors. They do very good videos. There's a lady there called Cynthia Shiawaya, who has a very nice way of showing their videos, and she does them alongside a guy called Mwenesi Musalia. So the reason I love the videos for Fine Urban Interiors is it's I think because it's renovation of projects. The projects are unique. So you see they're doing a project in Namanga, and the project in Namanga is different from the project they're doing in Mombasa or from the project they're doing in Syokimau. So I love that uniqueness. I think Kenyans, we should get out of the Kenyan way of building houses. Like, there's a Kenyan way of building houses, Like, you rarely see people going out of the norm. I rarely see, there's a channel called Finding George. Finding George. You should check out that channel if you love real estate and you're looking for ideas for building your own house. So Finding George, I hope I've gotten that name correctly. All right. It's an Australian real estate channel. All right. So the Australians, they build, at least the ones on that channel, they build very unique houses. You find someone has built a house which is just standing on pillars. You find someone else has built a house in the bush, and it's just made of rustic metal, and the finishing is very, very good. So they have unique looking houses. They don't have these houses which all look alike. Most Kenyan houses, you enter, you have the living room over there, right there when you get into the house. And then you have a dining room which looks like all the dining rooms on earth. And then you have the bedroom which looks like all the bedroom. Like, where? There's a day I put a post up and I said, where is the creativity? I'd like to go to a house where, the ground floor is just the bedrooms, and then upstairs is where you find the living room, such stuff. All right. Or a house where underground is where the rooms are, and, on the ground surface, that is where the living room is. So you walk in, when you're going to sleep, you go downstairs. You get unique stuff. All right. Even in South Africa, they build very, very unique homes, and it's not that it's very, very different in terms of uniqueness, but the homes, you enter the home and you think, this person has actually spent some time thinking of how they're going to build their house, not just, nijenge kama ile. Like, there's a street in Kilimani where you see apartments which look basically alike. If you live in Nairobi, there's a place called NHC. NHC has some very many houses, and if you look at that design, you go to Kilimani, you see that same design all over. You see it all over Kilimani, especially the older houses, or with these new high rises which are being built right now. So you're like, where do these guys go to the same architect and build? They just buy the same plan from the same architect. Huh? Are you guys seeing me? I'm frustrated by this thing. So those are some of the challenges I've been seeing when it comes to this real estate thing. How about you guys? How do you guys like the real estate market in Kenya? Like, are you guys enjoying the properties on the channels, or Mose Gigi says, we need affordable plots, not houses. We jenga pole pole. Exactly. That is what I said in my last video. This is what I think. I think the internet should be a place where, and I think this is what many people do, even on my channel. It's a place where people look for ideas of how to build their own houses. Okay, so you go to Emmanuel's channel, you watch, and then you're like, ah, this is a nice idea. There's a friend of mine called Salim. He's one of the subscribers here. He always texts me about his plans on how he wants to build. So you go, you check out all the houses on the channel, and then now you try and create your own ideas, out of the things that you've seen. And I think that's that's a better way to go. Because some of these houses, you see someone is selling a house for 17M or 35M. There's a home that I went to, and it was being sold for around 35 million? And I'm like, is it really worth it? Like, is it worth, 35 million, how much is that in dollars? How much is 35 meters in dollars? Is it $350,000? Thereabouts, if you use 100 bob for the dollar. So the house is worth $350,000, and it is on a very small space, very cramped. You have like thousands of neighbors, and then the service charge is like 18,000 per month. 18,000 per month. That's just service charge. So I'm like, how many people can afford this? Like, what KEMSA tender do you need to do, to afford a house for 35 million as your first home? I think that's crazy. I think a better way forward, as Mose is saying over here, and sorry if my eyes are squinting, it's because I don't have my spectacles. You get your ideas, and then you build your own nice house. But now, one of the things that you have to be very keen when you're buying your plot, especially you guys who are in the diaspora, you have to get a piece of land in a place where your neighbors will also, you have the same mentality with your neighbors. Okay, so you don't buy a plot and then kumbe your neighbors, people are going to start building mabati structures. You're planning to build a very nice house. The next guy is building a mabati structure. You're like, what the heck? What the heck is that? Like, right here where I live, just down the road here, there's somebody building some single rooms. And you should see the house opposite that place where this person is building single rooms. This person is building a mansion, like a dream house. Like, it's a huge house. I think it does like 5 bedrooms. She's just finished putting up the windows. Kidogo neighbor started putting up single rooms. They're like, what is going on? So the neighborhood guys have tried to, fight it out, trying to go to court, trying to go to this guy's in the construction commission or something. I've forgotten their name. These guys will regulate construction, but those guys don't do much. All right, they don't know much. They just come. I think they just came, they looked at the place, maybe they were bribed and they left, and the construction continued. So even when you're buying that land, Maze, you have to really look for a place where your neighbors don't let you down. Like, you'd rather even spend a little more money. You'd rather say, I'm going to Chuna and I'm going to buy land in Chuna for 2.5 million because this place is organized. Like and then you have a very strong association so that guys don't start building those mabati houses. It is very, very sad when you put up your house and then you find your neighbor has a mabati vision. Cheki, mimi nataka kujenga mabati mimi. If I have 10 rooms and then 10 room, kila room inanipatia 3,000. Unaona? Sasa 3,000 multiplied by 10, you need 30,000. Like, what the heck is going on here? So you'd rather spend a little more, or you come together with your friends. Okay, your friends, your like-minded friends, you buy a big piece of land. I've seen Nani is doing that. This guy called Giuliani's friend. Remember Giuliani's friend? His name is Boni. Boni was doing that. Boni has bought some land. It's called Courage what? What's wrong with my memory when I come on YouTube? It's called Courage Center or something. All right, whatever that place is called. So he's, they bought it with friends, and then he's also sending it to he's selling it to like-minded people. You form a strong association. Like if you're in the diaspora, you come together, and then you look for someone who's trustworthy in Nairobi, and then you source a nice big chunk, okay, and then you divide it equally among yourselves and fence the whole place. And then if at all you have extra pieces which you want to sell, whoever is buying has to go through some serious vetting, like when you're joining a club, a sports club. There's a day I went to a sports club in Upper Hill. Is it called the Nairobi Club? Like entering there alone. In fact, I went to Nairobi Club once, and it was just with these real estate stories. Somebody wanted me to get for them a developer, so they invited me to Nairobi Club. So I went over there. You have to sign at the entrance that you're a guest. Then you enter. I went to a section of the club where your phone must be off. So if your phone goes off, you pay a serious fine. It's very and it's not all that. The chairs are old. It's very colonial looking. But what you're paying for is the exclusivity. And then the same thing at the Movaiga Sports Club. This real estate thing where they are taking me places, huh? I've really gone to places courtesy of this real estate channel. Chicky Manuel, I saw your channel and I'd like to talk to you about a project that I have. Chicky, all right. You have to change your voice. Okay. Where is the project? What are you looking at in terms of the scope of the project? Let me read comments. I'm making a lot of noise over here. Who's here? Josh. Is the channel called... Yes, Josh. Hunting for George. Sorry. Thank you, Josh. I told you Josh is dope, huh? Josh, the channel, you're correct. It's Hunting for George. I don't know why they chose that weird name, though. Hunting for George, and it's a real estate channel. Mose says, real estate in Kenya is overvalued. Same shit every day. You're right, Mose. I went to South Africa, and I was staying in Sandton, Sandton in South Africa. I was staying in an apartment, an Airbnb, and I stayed there for 5 nights, and I paid 16,000 Kenyan shillings. So 16,000 divided by 5 is how much? Naona sasa shida fail mathematics. Why did I fail mathematics? Mathematics is not my area. 16,000 divided by 5. And we were 2 guys, so we split the bill. I have to get this number correct. Hata kama itabidi mungoje. 16,000 divided by 5 is equals to 3,200 a night. 3,200 a night. I was staying in Sandton, a dope, unique apartment. Mostly we are talking about uniqueness and colonized minds. And in Kenya, the way we build houses, Kenyan houses that look alike. So this this apartment was really nice, and it was in Sandton. And the value of that apartment, if you're going to buy one, was 7 million shillings. It was 7 million shillings at the time. It was a couple of years ago, but it was going for 7. A dope house. Actually, next door to that apartment complex was the place where Grace Mugabe's children were there. And you remember the time when I think one of the children slapped a maid or something? There was a scandal going on at that time. So that is I'm just saying that to say, you see, Grace Mugabe obviously is super. Okay, you know where they got their money. Super corrupt. All right, but me with my non-corruption money, I was staying next door for only 3,200. So real estate in Kenya is overvalued. It's super overvalued, man. I don't know what kind of calculation they do, to get this real estate. And I feel it's because of different factors. One of the factors is Kenya is one of the safe countries, in East Africa. Safe in regard to if you're in South Sudan, there's conflict. If you have your money that you're making from those Gava guys in South Sudan, Kenya is the place where you go, because there's peace. So you've seen many of these very rich South Sudanese in Kenya. living in very, very nice places, and the children talking in deep American accents. Chicky, what I went there to do is I went to actually pour out my heart to, the artistic situation that was going on here. So like, all right, that's a deep accent. So these guys, so these guys can afford to live there. Their parents are big shots in South Sudan. They invest in Kenya. Okay, same case for Somali people who are from they live in Somalia. I'm not talking about the Somali Kenyans, but Somalia, obviously there's some chaos going on, so they invest here. Okay. Where else? Now there's some serious problems going on in Ethiopia, right? The safe spot to be in is Kenya. So we have this influx of money which is not from here coming in. And then we also have the UNEP headquarters here in Kenya. So what happens? The price of real estate goes up. Price of real estate goes up to sick levels where like who is paying such amounts of money, just to buy a house? Like if you do those calculations, you're like, am I ever going to make back this money, or this is just a legacy investment? This is just an investment I'm making, and then maybe my children are just going to enjoy it. But as for me, I just brag that I have a house in Kilimani, but I have coughed serious amounts of money just to get this house. That is why I come back to my earlier point. If you want to, if you have like-minded friends, you come together, you buy a piece of land, along this highway, especially if you love this side of town. I like talking about the places where I know from, I live this sides of Kitengela. So you buy a piece of land between Kitengela and Isinya, you just fence it, you make sure it's not so far from the road, you sink a borehole, and then you build your house. You build your, and then I'm talking about your dream house. Maybe you can have an apartment in Nairobi, because some people hate driving. You have your apartment in Nairobi. I know a couple. Before I built my own place, there's a couple just outside Kitengela. They had an apartment in Kilimani, but a rented apartment. They used to rent in Kilimani. The children were going to Riara school. And then over the weekend, they drive to their lovely house, which they had built. And last I checked, they were actually moved there because the lady fell ill, and then the man retired. So they moved to their dope house that they built in a place called Korobui. Very nice house. She gave me a tour of the house, the woman of the house. Jackie, I bought these chairs at odds and ends, This is odds and ends. And then this painting, I also bought it from odds and ends, ordinance. And then this table here, I love it because I bought it from where? Ordinance. And then this bedroom, the way I designed this bedroom is such that when I am an old person, I'll just be able to leave the bedroom outside this door to the backyard. Dope house. She built a dope house right there in Koroboi. So yeah, sorry, I think I'm all over the place with this live stream, but my point, I think I've just loved what Jill said. You just grab your piece of land, if at all you don't want to buy some of these overpriced houses, and then you build. Although building is another, I think maybe we'll do another live stream on that building thing, because now building is another story too, right? You can get a contractor who can really mess you up, especially if you're building from the diaspora. You have to get a serious, real contractor, not someone who is a fundi. If it's a fundi, you have to be there, you personally. So the fundi then do his own things. You have to be there personally to supervise. But if you have a contract, if you are far away, you need a professional contractor who will do exactly what you want them to do, so that you don't build a house. Have you ever seen a house which looks good from far, but it is far from good? Like you come near, you're like, what is this? This house looked so nice when I was looking at it from there. And then I've gotten here and it looks terrible. The paint is whack. There's damp, it's damp. The dampness comes from under the house onto the walls. Like, who built this house? And that's a loss. So you're like, why didn't I even just buy an apartment? So yeah, so that's what I think. let me check out the comments and see what you guys are saying. Please write in your comments so that I hear what you have to say. The Bikers feed says, what you're saying is that decolonization of the brain. Yes, yes, we really need our brain to be decolonized in terms of this houses thing. Real estate in Kenya. All right, I think those. I think I've gone through most of the comments that I can see over here. So yes, so the channel, in regard to the channel has been stuck at 7,600, so around 7,000 subscribers. I wonder why. Okay, I know why. It's because I've not been uploading consistently. I think that is the main reason. There's some guys who started before me and now they're at some sick levels because they're more consistent than I am. All right, which is terrible. I need to be more consistent. But I also need, I think all the time when you're starting a YouTube channel, you should always start with something you really, really love. Because if you really, really love what you're doing, you're gonna be, you know, consistent. I've not loved some of the houses that I've seen, and I don't want to show you a house that I don't like. I want to show you a house that I also like. I feel like YouTube is a very personal thing, and I don't want to be like a TV station, which is just like, as Andrew Kibe says, Alanga! You're just a langa! Guys are just paying you and you advertise everything. Did I put a disclaimer when I was putting up this this live stream? I hope you're not watching with, but no, that's the last thing I'm saying like that. Okay, but I think you get the message. I just don't want to put for your house which I don't like. I want to put for your house which I also am like, or even me, and I find this interesting. Like the last house that I put up, it goes for 5.8 million. It has a compound. It has a lot of gravel around. But I was saying on the video that the price is reasonable. It goes for 5.8 M, and you get a huge compound compared to most of the projects that I've seen around, especially around here. Like, it's not practical. How do you drive all the way to Kitengela, just to live in a small space? Like, doesn't make sense. It's just me who thinks like this? Am I sabotaging my own self? Like, if you're driving all the way here, it takes around 40 minutes on a good day to get here if there's no traffic. If there's traffic, it'll take an hour or an hour and a half. Don't you want to drive for an hour and a half, and at least after that drive, you have some space, you have some grass, you have some trees, you have some, you have a dog which is running around, and if it takes, when it's dropping, then drop outside your door, it drops at a corner because there is space where you live. Wouldn't you love that? Because it gets old really fast. Buying a house is like buying a car, especially your first house. Before you move in, you'll be very excited. Before you move in, you'll be excited. You'll be like, I have a house. Yeah, I'm paying. I've already signed this mortgage. I'm going to be paying this mortgage for the next 20 years. All right. But now when you move in, you get used to it very, very quickly. You get used to, the environment. That initial excitement, the dopamine hit. The dopamine hit that hits you when you see a new thing. Like, I remember the first time when I went to Dubai, I was like, wow, this place is dope. And it was dope because it was the first time I was seeing it. So my dopamine was like, my neurons were just sparking. So it's the same thing with the house. So you don't now, when the dopamine runs out, you're like, why did I, buy such a small place? And shout out to you if you've already bought your small place. The sky's the limit. That is not the end of your life. I'm sure you're going to get a bigger place. But this stream is specific to the people who haven't bought yet. Look for a place where you're going to have some space. So when your friends come over, they don't even need to come inside the house. They're just chilling outside in your little compound, and then you make for them some chicken. You mnachoma nyama hapo nje, because nowadays the club culture is, it's more or less dead. People are now, just hanging out. They sit in their cars and they just hang out and talk. You know, they park their cars and hang out and talk. If you have a nice compound, they'll come to your place, they'll hang out, they'll, hang out, they'll chill, and then they leave. So you need, somewhere where you'll have that space. See what coronavirus. You should see what people do with their small spaces here in Kitengela. You should see it. And I'm not talking about those tiny houses. I'm talking about their little compounds. Somebody has bought a house on an eighth, and then he's put up a nice carport, those carports, and then he has a garden patch on one side of the compound, and then he's planted nice flowers. When I show you a video of a raw house which has just been constructed, that is raw, that is like a canvas. It's up to you now to take the canvas and convert it into something beautiful. So don't just look at the face value like, this place. I see some comments sometimes. They put up a video of a house. Somebody says, where are the trees? Somebody says, where is the grass? Why isn't the developer planting grass? Like, the developer is just building the house, right? And he's trying to sell the house for 5.8 million. He doesn't have money to start maintaining the grass before you come. He'll build for you the house, all right? He'll sell it to you, and then now you plant the grass, you plant your trees, and if you're patient, in a couple of years, your trees will be, grown, and the place will be looking like it's in Runda, and it's in this land of dust. So you have to look beyond, beyond that raw canvas, and you tell your mind. If you don't have that skill, you can actually hire. You can actually hire someone who's good at that. Alrighty, I'm seeing a comment over here. Lynn Lasita. Hello. Sorry, I'm squinting, Lynn. I can't see very well. Hello, what's going on? We call you, we text you on WhatsApp, but you don't answer. Yet, we want to inquire about homes and lands. Most of those homes have a high HOA fees or service fees. Home ownership association. Lynn, have you ever really honestly texted me? Because I've never seen your text, especially on WhatsApp. Did you text to my correct number? My number is 0725-350-415. Okay, so unless you sent, I've never seen a message from you, Lynn. If at all, I don't know. I've not seen. But send me another message. And after this live, I'll reply. If at all you've sent and I haven't seen it, I'm sorry, but I reply to most of the messages I get, if not all, if they are serious messages. Okay. Address the situation of paying high service charges. Service charges, especially in places with controlled development, they're normally very high service charges. You see, what are they called? You remember the concept of Konza City? So Konza City are building a city, and then now you buy land in there, and then you take advantage of the infrastructure in there. So now there are two small Konza cities being built privately. There is Tilisi, where I went to. I think I did like 4 houses in Tilisi, very nice houses over there. But the service charge is like 18,000 shillings a month. 18,000 shillings a month. That's just service charge. So the service charge is supposed to pay for the grass and the garbage, I think, security, the infrastructure, Some places, there's a place I went to which is in Langata, and they told me the service charge is 10K per month. This Langata next to the carnival. They told me the service is 10K per month. I'm like, what? Then they have a pool, they have a tiny pool. Like you dive in that pool and you're really on the other side of the pool. But then when you see someone that said swimming pool, please find out the size of the pool. You don't want a small bathtub, but then somebody calls it a swimming pool. Chicky, we have a swimming pool. We have a golf course. So yes, Lynn, service charge is terrible, especially with some of these developments. I feel like some developers want to keep making money after they've sold the house through the service charge. It has to be worth it. I feel like sometimes service charge is used to keep some guys out of the project. Like there's once I went to Vipingo Ridge, and I'm not sure, but I think from when I was there, they told me the service charge was 50K. No, Vipingo Ridge, like the original one. Now there are many developments at Vipingo. I think there's Centum who are doing a development there. Then there's also these guys who built Green Park. I think these lights make somebody forget things. I think pressure lights. So there's this, they're called Superior Homes. So Superior Homes are building a place. In fact, it's on my channel. You should check it out. Superior Homes are building a place. It's called Pahali Pazuri. And then Centum are also building, but I didn't go there. Then now this Vipingo Ridge, the original Vipingo Ridge place. So the service charge there was 50,000, but 50,000 is not bad for Vipingo, to be honest. That place is nice. That place is really, really nice. And then it is vast, and then it is so serene, and like you have to have such money even to invest over there. So yes, yeah, you have to really ask questions about service charge and do your calculation and see if it's gonna be worth it, and so that you're not paying too much. Okay. That is why I go back to my story of just looking for a place where you have like-minded people who are, they have a high thinking capacity. You buy land over there, you fence it, and then you can manage it yourselves. There's a place near where I live. They have a big gate, like you can't even see inside. They have a huge gate. I used to go there for walks before they put the gate. Eish, that place is nice. That place looks like a place in Karen. They've just built it well. The first guy, I think he was a visionaire, built a very nice house with very nice security. Then people came in, and they were selling the plots cheaply at that time. They were selling it for 1.8 million, But they've made a very nice place. It's come together. Everyone who comes there has to build according to how those guys have set up standards. And then they've put now gates, on the access. Both access. I think they shut down one completely. They put some security, and now guys are enjoying life inside there. Before they put up the gate, I took some of my friends over there, and they were like, "Hey, this place is nice." So it's possible. It's possible. Lynn is saying, "Yes, I texted, and you called me, Emma. I called you. Lynn, are you the one who called me with your husband? Please let me know. Are you the one who wants to do a project somewhere? I don't know. I'll chat you up. I hope you send me a chat after I'm done with this live. I bought a home in Athi River, Lukenya. I had to sell it. Luckily, I sold it. I couldn't afford. So I'm trying to find something reasonable, like paying my own water or finding a way to service water." Where is that plot, Lynn? Have you ever already gotten a place, or you're looking for a place? Let me know. Let me know if you're looking for a place or you found it. Water is a tricky thing in Kitengela, by the way, if you want to invest on this side of the city. Water is very, very tricky. Like me, I live at a place next to a borehole. So the borehole services the plots around. You have to have a place where you're going to get your water. If at all you're not going to dig your own borehole. But water is something you really have to think of when you're investing. You have to think of where you're going to get the water. There was a time the borehole next to my place was messed up. Actually, recently, just in December, November, December, the owner was saying Kenya Power was charging them so much money. And Lynn, this is something you should think about when you're thinking of getting water. So Kenya Power was charging her a lot of money to every month, because that power bill can, those costs can really go up. So she shut down Kenya Power and put solar panels. Although the solar panel that she put up, they cost her like 700,000 shillings to put up. A serious solar panel system which generates so much power. It generates 3-phase power. So she's using that. So that means the water comes into our place during the day. But now she has connected so many houses. I don't think it'll be sustainable in the long run. because she's connected so many houses. So during that 2-month period, I really suffered, because now I had to start looking for these guys who have water bowsers to come and bring in the water. So I'm like, Aish, this is tough. My neighbor, who is just a few rows from where I am, there's a guy who's built a primary school, which is ongoing. He had to dig his own borehole. So he dug his own borehole, put solar panels, and now he's self-sufficient. So I think when you're thinking of buying a piece of land, you have to think of where you're going to get the water. Either you're going to dig the borehole, all right, and please try and put solar as the primary way of powering it, or find out around where the water is going to come from, because water is man, you can't survive without water. And then you don't want to live all this way. There's a lady near where I'm staying who bought that piece of land. Or rather, she moved into that house. She built a house, moved in, and then the water problem came. So she just, she was just there for half a month, and then this borehole near our place started bringing problems. So she was regretting. She was like, why the heck did I move here? She was so upset. She was like, why did I move here? I moved to a place to suffer. Now there's no water here. But she stuck it out until the water situation was fixed. So, water. Lynn, but I haven't understood, Lynn, what you're really saying. Have you got a place already? Abdi Razak Abdullahis. Check 12 things to consider before building on YouTube. I'll check it out, brother. Thank you for sharing. I'll check it out. 12 things to consider before building. I'll check it out. Is it by a Kenyan or it's by someone who's not Kenyan? But building is, building is a fun journey, I think. You feel very nice all the time you come and see something new that you're working on. If you're working on the foundation, one day I should share with you guys how May built my place. It was a journey of faith. Have you guys ever heard of faith? Hey, it was a journey of faith. Because number one, I was tired of paying rent. And then I just had a very strong desire to have my own place where I'm not paying rent. So I was just building. I built foundation. I wasn't thinking beyond sections. I was just thinking, if I'm building the foundation, I was just thinking of the foundation only. I didn't want to think so far ahead, so that and then I get overwhelmed by the thoughts, because the quantity, is it called the quantity surveyor? Like, they can tell you an amount of money. You're like, what? All that money you want me to pay? So I just build foundation. Then when I'm done with foundation, I go to wall. I'm like, how much is the wall? I build the wall. Then I go to the lintel, build the lintel, and then it's stuck. I got stuck over there, the lintel, for quite a while. I got stuck at the lintel. I used to just come here and stare at that lintel. Okay. Hey, lindo. They call it lindo. And then I think I got some money, cleared now the courses on top of the lintel. Then I got some deal. Then I bought mabati for the roof. Like, nice. But it's a bittersweet journey, because sometimes you put the roof, but the walls look horrid because you haven't plastered them. But you just do it slowly by slowly, and you end up finishing. So yes, I'll check out that channel, Abdi Razak. Thank you so much for sharing. I'll check it out. Lynn is having a conversation with Abdi. So yes, the YouTube channel, I've decided to focus it a lot in the Kitengela regions. There are some places which I want to show you guys. Kitengela is not just that road along the highway. There are places inside which you'll never ever know about unless somebody takes you there. So my plan is to show you more of those places. Just walk around with my camera. Josh, you should hook me up with a GoPro. I feel like my camera is too big. This is what I use to shoot the real estate videos, but I feel like this is too big, especially sometimes when you just want to walk and record. When people see cameras in Kenya, they get very nervous. So if I can get a GoPro, you know, it would be even lighter to carry. So I walk you around these areas. There's a road which I think is going to be one of the dope roads in the dope places to live in Kitengela. Just here in Milimani, people are building new houses there, and I think the development there will be very, very controlled, and it's in a very hidden area. Unless somebody shows you, you'll never ever know that there's a place like that. And guys have built houses, guys have already started moving in there. There are a couple of estates, so I think it'll be one of the the prime areas in this Milimani area. So I'll just walk you around those areas and hopefully connect you guys with some land or reasonable houses which you can buy. I also plan to travel and check out some houses. Traveling has become a bit pricey in because of COVID. COVID is apart from paying for the ticket, you have to pay for those tests. Like when you go to Rwanda, you land over there, you have to do a COVID test, then you go isolate yourself for 3 days, then your results come out, then you go back again for another test, and each test is like $60. So you do calculation, like just getting there without accommodation is $150 plus the ticket plus where you're gonna stay. But we're still gonna do it, man. We're still gonna do it. Josh, I should do drone videos of Kitengela, then we can collab on that day. Yes, that's a good idea, my brother. Especially on the inside. I've seen your drone videos of the the town, the built-up areas. But if you just take the drone along the feeder roads, just to show guys how it looks like and how it will look like, I think that would be awesome. That's not. I think I've seen it once on the African Traveler channel, but it just happened once and then it didn't happen again. So, because you see, along the road is very expensive, especially right now. But now when you drive in, it's less expensive, and then it's growing. All right, and sometimes you don't have to drive in so far into the road. There's an estate in Kitengela called Acacia. Acacia is a very, they've been able to organize themselves. They're controlling the development. Developers are going there and building some nice houses and selling them. Private or landowners are building nice homes. And I don't think many people know that when you just drive into some of these towns, you'll be able to see very, very nice places. So Josh, that's a brilliant idea. I hope we'll be able to do it as soon as we can. Lynn says, congratulations for building your own home. I'm trying to buy or build. If I buy, I don't want expensive service charges. Yes, I think a service charge around 5 Gs would be reasonable. Although the Kenya shilling is plummeting like the ruble. Huh? Is it the ruble? How do you pronounce that Russian currency? So 5 Gs is nice as a service charge, especially because you have garbage and you have... There are places which don't have service charge. Like me, I don't pay service charge. As we have a garbage guy who comes and picks up the garbage every Thursday. And then apart from that, we just pay for water. We used to pay for security, but the guys around just stopped paying during that COVID lockdown. They just stopped paying for security. We had a common security, so we used to pay, and then we hired some watchmen. But during that lockdown, guys stopped. I think that one will pick it up later on. So in terms of charges, we'd pay 1,000 bob for security, 500 bob for garbage. So that's 1,500. And then apart from that, you pay your water bills. So that's reasonable. So Lynn, I know where you're coming from. Abdi says, I watch a lot of Kisingani. Thank you so much, my brother. I think you're one of my day ones alongside Kina Josh. Do you have any idea of what? Please finish that question, Lynn, so that I see what you're saying. All right. So yes, so that's what's up. I hope we can have more of such conversations. I feel like this is more interesting for me. just sharing knowledge and sharing some of the ways to navigate through this ownership thing. And by the way, Lynn, me, I haven't built my dream house yet. I mean, I just built a 1-bedroom house. Because I don't have kids, so I just built a small place, and then I have some other space where I'm hoping to build a bigger house. But I just built a place which hopefully one of these days I'll make it into an Airbnb. Okay, and then on the other, maybe one day I'll show you on a video, and then hopefully I'll build they call it a dream house, dream home. I'll build a dream home. But whatever you're doing, well, if at all you're buying a house, there are so many resources. There are so many YouTubers now doing houses. There are so many, man. Gosh, they're everywhere. It's become a very what's it called? What's the word where you say there are many people in there? There are many people doing houses. There's my friend, what's her name? Natural K Teddy, does so many nice, affordable homes. Really, really dope stuff. I think those are some of those guys who started Kitambo. Nowadays, I think the guys who do houses in every section of the city. So I think now it's easier to make an informed choice when you're buying a house. There is Prita Homes, who does very, very dope videos. Sometimes African Traveler hooks up with that guy called what's that guy's name? Josh, your buddy. This guy was really dapper. What's that guy's name? Yeah, saturated. Not saturated. Wilson has said that word is saturated. There's this guy called Boris Real Estate. Boris is really, really good at that real estate stuff. And then him is specialized in Kilimani. So those are the guys. If you've not followed those guys, follow them. Boris has some nice homes he does in Kilimani area. That's his area. And then I think Peter Holmes also does those luxury areas nowadays. Natural K Teddy will throw in this affordable homes, and and she does really, really well. Her channel is doing so well, man. Who else do I normally watch in this 254? There was this other guy from Nax, but I think there's a time he had stopped doing videos. What was his name? I've forgotten. Spot on 254. So those are the guys you should follow if you want to check out real estate in Kenya before you make an informed purchase. If you want to renovate your house, you can follow Fine Urban Interiors. They do a very good job. If you have a place anywhere, they can renovate your house. And by the way, these guys haven't paid me for this. I'm just telling you guys, the people I watch. So Fine Urban do a very good job. Yeah, I think that's it for now in terms of the Kenyans who I watch. But try and watch Hunting for George if you're looking for ideas. Try and check out Hunting for George. The India. Check out also Indian architecture. I think because of the language barrier, sometimes we don't really look at places outside the English-speaking Commonwealth. The Indians have very, very good architecture. So just Google Indian architecture, and the designs they have are really, really nice and very, very sustainable, and they won't break the bank. There are some designs which, bringing them to life, you're like, hey, how much am I going to spend to create such a house? So check out Indian architecture. If you're looking for ideas for a house that you're going to build on your own piece of land, all right, and you can get that. You can get some serious ideas from there. Good. I've been here for 58 minutes. By the way, do you guys have any suggestions of real estate people to watch? Evans is saying, yeah, Prita Holmes is fire. Evans is saying, yeah, Boris is also really, really good. Josh Moore says Boris, yes. If you have some money and you want to build something unique, you can check out South African homes. Okay, South Africans also build very nice homes. There are some which are very luxurious, but just try and spread your wings outside the Kenyan, the Kenyan space. Like, you can get ideas. At least now we're in the era of YouTube. You know what happens? People go to a place, they buy a piece of land, then they go there with the architect, then they say, nijenge kama yule. Like, what do you mean nijenge kama yule, mas? Look for your own ideas. Look for ideas which are good for you as an individual. Maybe you're a painter, maybe you're an IT guy, maybe you're an editor like Josh, so you need a space where you're going to do your editing. So, just take your time and watch things outside. You don't need to lock yourself in this echo chamber of ours over here. Just look beyond so that you get something good. Are there any homes selling in Kisumu or Kakamega? Any idea? Kisumu, I think you have to really search on the ground. My stepmother has a house in Kisumu, but in Milimani. I haven't seen an estate development. Kakamega, I haven't seen an estate there either. In fact, there was a time when I was walking around Kakamega, Webuye, I was like, why don't I just buy a piece over here and develop a place like Green Park? Then those lounges were telling me, Apa kuna moto atanunua. Actually, I went to there doing some research because there's nothing really there that I've heard of. Like a place where you can just buy, some people don't want to live in their villages. Some people don't want to live in their ushago. Yes, they'll keep the land, which is, family land. You don't sell that land. But sometimes you want to live there with those guys. So you just need a place in that area, but not there. And then a place where when you leave, the neighbors are also, they think like you. So it'll be, I know you know what I'm saying. So I haven't seen yet. Maybe you could be the one who starts that area, Lynn. You should think about it. Josh has suggested Mansions and More is also a Kenyan real estate YouTuber. Oh, nice. Mansions and More. Let me check them out right now. Mansions and More. It's good to do these live streams. You learn about stuff. Hi, everybody. My name is Ann Nyakarura, and welcome to my channel. Nice. I'll check it out, Josh. Thank you for that through pass. Mansions and More. I love the name of that channel. I'll check it out. Wilson, wow, what are your thoughts? Eish, what's happening here? Let me put this question on the screen. Why am I not utilizing technology? Wilson Wa is asking, what are your thoughts? Now I can see the question. What are your thoughts on the future real estate market? Will we continue to see some of these inflated prices, or will they drop? I think the inflated prices will drop in certain areas. Okay, like I remember when I used to live along Ngong Road, the prices were really, really high. An apartment was going for 17 million. At that time, there was a lot of money. I think it was the Kibaki era. During Kibaki era, there was a lot of money flowing in the economy. So, like the apartment where I was living, if you were to buy it, it was going for 17M. Right now, especially when COVID hit, many people moved out of those apartments because people were affected financially. So there are many empty apartments in that area because people moved to Syokimau, where you can get an apartment for maybe 30K and it's still a 3-bedroom. People moved to this side of the city. Some moved back to Shags, but many guys, especially pilots and stuff like that, they had to move because of their cut in their salaries. So what happened was there were many empty houses on Ngong Road, and then prices started going down. But now what's happening there is, and I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, because I'm sure you also have thoughts on this. The Chinese are now building high-rise apartments in those areas like Ngong Road. Tall condominiums, and then they're not selling them for so much money. You can get one for like 7M, 8M. It's a bit squeezed, but you can get an apartment just along Gong Road, in those nice areas. But now the population has shot up there. Like, you can imagine all the new sewage which is going to have to flow through that infrastructure. I don't think they've improved that infrastructure, and I think it was on Twitter, people were just talking about how crazy that Gong Road is nowadays. So I think prices, yes, are they'll go down in those areas. But now, as you move along with this expressway, there's this thicker road which opened up that end of the city, so the prices are going up in these other areas. So you find houses in Kitengela going for, there's a house I asked about recently. There's a house I recorded last, and I asked, how much is the rent? He told me 35 to 40 Gs. I'm like, what? Ukundani 35 to 40K. So there seems to be an increase in prices in these outside areas, and I think the more developed the roads are made and stuff like that, the more rents will go up. So yeah, I hope that has answered your question, and I'm by no means am I a professional. I'm just telling you what I think from just being in this real estate thing. I've been doing this for how long? For about 2 years now. I think 1.5 years or 2 years. So I've seen a lot of houses, and I've seen, especially around Kitengela, I've just seen how prices are just going up very, very slowly. But also it's because of the cost of, the cost of land is also going up. So that's a factor. But I feel like in Kenya, things are overpriced. Like, you can find someone has built an estate in the middle of nowhere and he's selling the houses for like 7M, and there's no supporting infrastructure. So like, how did you come up with this cost? How did you've not built the roads, you've not developed roads. I love these guys called Great Wall. Obviously, they have an advantage of the Bank of China or something. But then they develop, when they're developing a place, like you should go to Great Wall Gardens, they make the road themselves. They just do cabro from the highway all the way till the apartments. And then they build a sewer line. I was watching a clip where they're demolishing that sewer line. I don't know what's happening with that. But the Chinese, those guys come and build they mass produce those houses with the infrastructure to support the place. Then the rent is so cheap. Like that guy, I was hanging out with some other guy who was some inside info about those guys. So you're saying sometimes they just sell the house for like I think you've seen the adverts in the newspaper. They sell the house for like 3.5 million cash, and they use that to develop the building. And then once they develop, the cost doubles. Immediately the house is done, the cost doubles to like 7M. All right. So then they don't even need a bank. Like, the project is self-financing. But now they do it properly. They fix the road all the way to the house, because roads are everything. Like over here where I live, when it rains, it's crazy. People have to leave their cars sometimes on the road. You're in the house, you're hearing because guys are stuck in the mud. And it's this same place where you're still going to have to pay for what is called service charge, and not service charge. When you're building the house, see, these money you have to pay to the county government. So like, why am I paying? And you guys are not building the supporting infrastructure. How did I even get into all those stories? Yeah, so yeah, I think those are the things which affect the cost. Yes, we need a way to truly have valuation on how much the houses are really worth. And yeah, especially when you're watching videos on YouTube about houses, my videos, I used to do them a bit longer than the normal videos. Recently, I reduced the time kidogo, but I do them longer. Why? So that you can see properly. When you just rush, if you hang out with Josh, he'll tell you. In fact, there's a video I was watching on YouTube. So this guy was saying how to shoot a house for YouTube. All right. So one of the things he said, don't shoot boring parts of the house. He said, just shoot the nice parts. So for me, that does not make sense. Like, if I'm watching a YouTube video, especially if I want to buy a house, I want to see even the behind, they say chini ya carpet, they say fagia chini ya carpet, chini ya meza. I want to see those areas under the bed. How does that place look like, so that you make an informed choice? Now, if you just see the nice parts and then they're just doing, how are you going to make an informed choice about the house that you're buying, if at all you're shopping on YouTube? So sometimes you see I've done a longer video, it looks boring, and like, and then people only watch the first 5 minutes. You should check out the analytics. People just watch the first 5 minutes, and then the graph starts going like this. They drop off. So if you're window shopping for a house on YouTube, just try and try and demand for more details so that you can see properly. Even before you go there. See, the idea of watching the video is what before you go there, you get an informed mental picture of what you're looking at. I've given you guys some market, what are they called, market secrets of YouTubing houses. Right. I've been talking for an hour, man. I want to go and cook some chicken. I removed it from the fridge. I want to go and cook it with some ugali. Ugali na kuku. Where? So yes. Any other question before I leave here? By the way, guys, thank you so much for joining this live stream. We've been a couple of people, but it's been fun. I've actually enjoyed it. Thank you, Len, for some of the questions that you've been asking. It's made us go dig deeper. Thank you, Josh, for making time and to watch this. I hope we're able to do a couple of things together, brother. We've never, but maybe this is the year. Maybe this is the year when we shall do something together. Wilson, thank you so much for just coming through and watching this. I think we'll do more of this. I think we should do more of this. I should invite experts, especially for you guys who want to build, and I just have conversations with them, with lawyers. By the way, when you're doing any land deal, please make sure you have your own lawyer, so that you don't have premium tiers later on. So make sure you have a lawyer. And then some of you guys have built your own houses. Maybe you can tell us stories of how you built your house, how you bought your apartment, so that we can all learn. All right, I think that would be very interesting. So thank you so much. Wacha niwapigie makofi. That's the wrong one. No, that's the wrong one again. Yes, that is the correct one. Thank you so much, guys, for joining in. Wilson Wa says, in the near future, have a scheduled time so that we know when you are online. Yes, I built this little studio over here. I need to decorate it. I'll just put a little lantern over here. I need to put something on the background. Josh, I need those lights. Remember that blue light you had? I need such a light so that I just have some different background. So I think we can be doing live streams every Wednesday where we just sit down and talk about these things. Quim, Great Wall Gardens at River, your take. Affordable, nice place to throw in your money. I think the value is going to go up, especially when the road is done. And if at all you're not even buying it to live there, rent. Yeah, I think it's a good place to get a tenant. Young people, we can't all. I always say we can't all fit in Nairobi City. Yeah. We can't all fit in Spring Valley. We can't all fit in Rhonda. We can't all fit in Loresho. So especially young people whose families are, they're starting new families. They need places to stay. And some of those places are places like that Great Wall Gardens that you're talking about. But if you want to live there, maybe you can have it as your first home because it's affordable. And then after that, you can take your family and move to somewhere else. If you think about some of these old estates and and how much money they were bought for, it's just like now. It's funny how history repeats itself. Like you tell someone this house was worth 7 million, they're like, what? 7 only? So I think in the next 10-15 years, those houses are going to have a very high price, and the fact that the expressway is right there, I think it'll make it very convenient for new families who are starting out. I hope I've answered your question. Lynn, make sure you send me that WhatsApp so that we revive that conversation. So thank you guys for coming through. See you guys on the next one. Like the video, share. If you haven't subscribed, tafadhali subscribe. So, see you guys on the next one. Bye.